So new people, even though we are not cooking anything, I'm still going to put on my apron so that Casey knows when the second half of the chat starts. And yeah, so Carol Lou, Cheryl, and Debbie, and Vicky, no, tea does not keep me up at night. So that one I'm sure has caffeine in it. For those of you who, if caffeine does keep you up, do a caffeine-free tea. Yeah, this one's got caffeine in it, so maybe drink this one in the morning if the caffeine keeps you up. Okay, so this is the second half of tonight's chat. We have, and y'all have been so good. Thank you all for not about what's going on right now at Weight Watchers. That's going to be the last thing that we talk about. The first things I want to talk about are a few changes on your Weight Watchers app, and if you haven't seen these yet, you might want to like force update your app. I had to on my phone. I actually had to log out, like log completely out and then log back in to get these to take effect. I did not have to do it on the iPad. I do not know why. I have no explanation for why. But the first thing I'm going to show you is on the home page now. When you first load up your home page on the WW app, you're going to have a new section. If you haven't seen it or noticed it yet, you're going to have a new section right here that says, sorry, I just gave myself the hiccups. It says Meal Inspiration, Simple Recipes, Big Flavor. And what they are doing here is they're trying to, like, as you're tracking things or things that you're scanning, or because y'all know we're being tracked everywhere all the time at every moment, right? So just breathe and try not to worry about it, because it doesn't matter what you do, and it doesn't matter if you don't want to be tracked, you're being tracked. So you can think you're doing whatever you want to. So, but sometimes it's a good thing. So like I get coupons from Kroger all the time, so I don't mind. And like Kroger customizes my coupons. So even though I probably should be worried about it, I'm not, because I get coupons that I could actually use because they customize it to me. So that's what this is doing. It's customizing it to you, and it's going to learn you. So like right now, mine are completely random. And so I have like hoisin glazed tuna with some kind of sauce, turkey meatballs, pork lo mein, shrimp scampi. So it has just randomly chosen some things to suggest as simple recipes with a big flavor. You can scroll over. There is a section that says, how are we doing with our recommendations? So if you think, man, you know what? They are spot on. That's exactly things that I would have looked up. I know, Debbie, it does. And it terrifies me, but I just have to, it's coming. It's coming, so I just have to embrace it. But you can let them know. So if you think, you know what, they are spot on, those are totally things that I would want to make or try or eat, then you can click the thumbs up. And where it says, how are we doing? Let's see, how are we doing with our meal recommendations? So you can do a thumbs up. Or if you think, that's crazy, that's not anything I would eat, I would never eat that, you can do a thumbs down, and it will keep learning, and it will keep learning you and what it needs to suggest. So you can go over to all these things. At the very end, it says, looking for even more meal inspiration, see all matches. That should be the cue or the clue that it is matching what you're tracking. It's matching like what recipes you look up and what recipes you use, or what you're posting or things that you're scanning, okay? Because it says how, let's see, looking for even more meal inspiration, see all matches. Now, first question we had was, how do you get rid of this? You don't. Right now, this is hard coded in, I guess, to your app, but if you don't want to see it, there is a little, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little up caret right there. It's that little, it's just a little up caret. That, let me see if I can do it upside down. You touch that and it minimizes it. So that minimizes it so that you can go straight to tracking for your day, or go to your other, things. So that way you minimize it, but you cannot completely get rid of it. You cannot remove it from your home screen. Okay, that was one thing. Next thing is, if you go to your little picture on the home page, so if you go to that little icon on your home page, and if you go to, there's settings and then there's health settings. So I know some of you that have started taking GLP-1 medication, or you have diabetes, or you're pre-diabetic, or you need to start tracking that, or you need to start tracking differently. That is where you go. So when you go into settings and then go into health settings, then your options are going to be, you're either living with diabetes, and you can toggle that on and off. And let's see if I can do that. Come on, toggle. Okay, so you toggle it on, and it's going to change what your 0 point foods list is. I'm going to toggle that back off because I'm not diabetic. Or you can toggle on, and now it's changed back to my 0 point foods. Or you can toggle on that you are taking a GLP-1 medication, and then you get this whole thing, and I can't go into it because I am not taking one, but you switch to the GLP-1 program experience. There are tailored nutritional targets, go-to food recommendations. It keeps your app history and data, and you can switch back at any time, so you can switch back and forth. I'm not going to do that since I'm not on a GLP-1, but somebody asked how to, they were like, okay, well, I just got diagnosed with diabetes. What do I do? How do I change that? That is how you change that. Okay, next thing, and I'm not happy about this. We talked about this last week, and I've fussed about it a couple of times. Julie has fussed about it. I'm with you, girl. High five. Julie has fussed about it when she needed to do our challenge for this week. I don't like it. I don't like it, don't like it, don't like it, don't like it, but I don't know who to call about it. But if you go here to your little icon again, and if you go down here to discover content, you used to be able to pull up a weekly topic. Well, now the weekly topic is no longer there. So now it says our best mindset and behaviors change strategies. Explore all of our proven techniques in one place. And there's a technique library. And if you touch that, you can go to the technique library, and it does have, if you keep scrolling down, it has all of the old ones. It has like the old weekly topics, but as of, I think it's 3 weeks ago, I believe, so maybe the beginning of September, there are no new, see how these have these really pretty little, you know, graphics and whatever, and you can go into them. Well, now the old ones are just a library, just a library, you know, for you to check into. And you can go here by topic, you know, what we can help with. It has all of these different topics, and if you touch one of them, it will take you down to that topic. But again, there are no new ones. So that's under Discover Content, Carol Lou. So if you go back to your home screen, and then let's see if I can do this. Oh, and I can't read that. So you just touch your little icon. That's where the three horizontal lines used to be, and now you just touch your icon, and then you go down here to Discover Content. So on my iPad, it's almost all the way at the bottom. On my phone, I have to scroll up a little bit. So you touch Discover Content, and then go right here to the library, to the technique library. I'm really irritated with this. So I didn't call. So during our Weight Watchers meeting 2 weeks ago, Gwen had me, she had me get on the 24/7 chat. Why? Hold on, Sarah, calm down, just calm down, Sarah. So Gwen had me get on the 24/7 chat during our meeting, and I tried to ask, you know, hey, where did this go? And I definitely did not have a human. It just kept circling back. It kept circling back and circling back and circling back. So the next day, I got on 24/7 chat while I was at work, and while I was at work, because I could just let it keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. So I just kept bugging the computer, bug. Nope, not there. And it basically asked me if I wanted to talk to a human, and I said, yes, please. So I got a human on the 24/7 chat, and here's what the human told me. The human said that the bot was incorrect. She said that the day before, when I was on the 24/7 chat, and that it kept saying that it was there, she said the bot was wrong, that it hadn't been updated yet. The weekly meeting topic will no longer appear on the digital format. So if you are online only, if you're digital online only, you will not be able to see what a weekly, as of right now, and I think it's a really bad idea, but you will not be able to see a weekly meeting topic. You will be able to, yeah, so Carol, they already gave me the answer. So they said right now, like effective almost immediately. Actually, she acted like it wasn't coming for another couple of weeks, but it's here. I'm telling you, it's already doing it. If you are digital online only, there will no longer be a unique weekly meeting topic. But if you go to an in-person workshop, there is just no, there's nothing to back it up. Like, you no longer get a piece of paper. Like, when we go to in-person workshops, we used to get a weekly topic, like a piece of paper. Then we got, or it used to be a big piece of paper. Then it moved to like a half-size sheet of paper, but it was thicker. Then it was a half-size sheet of paper, thicker half-size sheet of paper. Then a recipe on the back. Then. Okay, so I said, well, wow, that's really not convenient for people who can't attend an in-person workshop. And she kept saying, oh, but yeah, but the library is great. And I said, the library is great, but really? And I said, and for those of us that go to an in-person workshop, if you missed it, like Danielle's not going to be able to be there Tuesday night. She's having surgery. And luckily, Danielle's got a couple of friends that can tell her what she missed, but there's nowhere for her to go back and reference, you know, what's going on. So anyway, I think that one's a really bad idea. Okay, let me quickly go to this next one, because I could talk about that for like the next 10 minutes. And we have one long, 2 down from this is a really long one. Okay, next, if you haven't done this yet, I actually do love this feature, and I'm hoping live that it'll work like it does in the store. So let's say that I'm at the store, and this would be Aldi. Okay, so let's say that I'm at Aldi, and Mindy says that we should make our voices heard in the chat or at the 800 number. Mindy, do you happen to know, because I have not been able to find it and Gwen has not been able to find it, there used to be on Connect, there used to be a person, it's not a person, but there was a person that did the weekly topic. Do you happen to know what that was called? It was something weird, like it was like mine is at IfYouHaveAnEgg. And thank you, Mindy, for sharing that 800 number. Mine, you know, my user ID is at IfYouHaveAnEgg if you want to chat with me. But it was like at www_weekly topic or something like that. I've not been able to find that, and I don't know if that still exists or not. But you know, but anyway, okay, so I understand Debbie just said she would call and get out of her contract. I'm not getting out of my contract because they took away the weekly meeting. Okay, I'm just saying I think it's a bad idea. And I do think we should complain about that. But I think this one is a good idea. This one on the barcode scanner, I used to have to weekly technique. That was it. Thank you, Mindy. So thank you so much, Mindy. I've not been able to find it. There's not a page to screenshot. So, okay, so Trish is asking, why can't we just screenshot the page and post it on the Facebook chat? I can screenshot the lack of the weekly and then also post the number. Or, okay, so I think Debbie's going to do that. We can totally do that. Okay, and then Mindy reminds you, please be nice when you're on the phone. The person who's answering the phone did not make this decision. So the poor person who's either going to answer the phone or be on the 24/7 chat, I was extremely polite. I just kept saying, I really don't think it's a good idea, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because, and I know, and Debbie, honey, you don't have an ugly bone in your body, but please be nice to them because they did not have a decision in this, okay? They are literally just answering the phone. Okay, so anyway, this one I think is a really good idea. So used to, when you would go to the store, so like let's say I'm at Aldi and I'm trying to decide, do I want the tomato Parmesan bisque soup? Do I want the healthy vegetable soup? Or do I want the Southwest style tomato and black bean soup? And we're going to talk about money in a second, Debbie. So, but anyway, so when if I'm trying to decide this previously, when you touched your barcode scanner, which is right here, when you touched your barcode scanner previously, you had to scan, it pulled up the numbers, get out, scan, touch the barcode scanner again. Now, and I'm hoping that you all will be able to see this. Let's see if I can turn these around and make it work. Oop, hold on, turned them too far. Now, instead of scanning, getting out, scanning, getting out, scanning, getting out, now what you do, and let's see if it'll work. So now you can scan it. Let's see. Okay, So there it is. So this one is tomato Parmesan bisque, and it's 9 points for a cup. But if I want to go ahead and scan the next one, you can just keep scanning. So like there's the next one, there's the hearty vegetable gourmet soup. It's 5 points for a cup. And then I can just keep going down the row and I can scan the next one. And I'm making it more complicated because I'm trying to do this backwards and upside down, okay? And then the last one, 5 points for a cup. So did that make sense? So see how it looks a little bit different? So instead of scanning, getting the data, getting out, scanning, getting the data, scan, you can just go down the line and go scan. You just hit scanner once, scan, 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 scan to your heart's delight, pick the one you want and move on. Okay, so that was that last little bit of news. If y'all have any issues with any of these app things, let me know. And I'll be happy to, if I don't already know the answer, I'll be happy to go back and figure out how to do it. Okay, this next topic, I'm gonna have to get a drink. We're gonna pretend like this is a toddy, some kind of a hot toddy. It's not, it's just tea. Okay, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday while I had my phone turned off, Saturday afternoon, and this morning, I got messages of, oh my gosh, have you seen this? The Weight Watchers CEO has stepped down, and it ranged everything from, hey, did you see that the Weight Watchers CEO stepped down? Here's a bit of news. Here's a bit of news you might want to read. Here's what some other people are talking about. All the way to, so I got several very calm, that's interesting. Did you see this? All the way to, oh my gosh, pick something else. Weight Watchers is going out of business. Okay, Weight Watchers is not going out of business. Okay, so let me just start by saying the Weight Watchers CEO, and I never can say her name correctly, so fortunately she's not there to hear me say her name incorrectly anymore. Okay, so Seema Sistani, and if I said it right, woo, if I didn't, oh well, she'll never know. But Seema Sistani, who was the CEO, notice I said was, of Weight Watchers, stepped down at the end of last week. So that means that she has removed herself from the board of directors. That means she has removed herself from being the chief executive officer. If you've never owned a company or been part of a company who has levels of operation like this, the chief executive officer is the person that oversees everything. Okay, they have groups of people, they have team members under them, they've got board members under them, they've got, like, they usually have a CEO usually has a COO, like a chief operating officer, they usually have a CFO, a chief financial officer, they have a board. The board is like kind of in charge, but they're in charge with the CEO. But anyway, so she stepped down. Do not panic. If you've never been part of a company who had a system like that, or part of a corporation that had that, like, I am the CEO, president, owner, whatever of Casey Kitchen Center, it just means you're in charge, okay? Sometimes being the CEO, for me, means that you have to take the recycling out every day because the recycling guys won't come pick it up and nobody else is going to take it out. Sometimes being the CEO means you make big decisions about what colors to stock, what market to go into, you know, things like that. But the CEO, Seema Sistani, and I'm not saying it right, anyway, she has stepped down. I want to tell y'all a couple of things before you panic. So first of all, just like a few years ago when we switched programs and everybody was like, we're switching programs, it's all going to heck in a handbasket, blah, 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 you know, just breathe, okay? So everybody just breathe. I want to give you some what may be useless information to some of you, but I just want to tell you a couple of things first, okay? First is to breathe. Just breathe. It's okay. The second thing is I have a question. Have any of you all ever been in the news? And I don't mean like in the news like you were, you know, rescuing puppies during Hurricane Helene. I don't mean that. I don't mean, you know, like you were out rescuing puppies, that kind of news. I mean, like, have you ever been on the news, in the newspaper, whatever, and you thought, that's not how that went down, okay? That is not how that went down. I will quickly tell you, John and I had a charity charity work. We did some charity work at Casey's school when she was little, and there was an issue. It was an issue with one mom. One mom had a meltdown. One mom called the principal. She couldn't get a hold of the principal. That mom panicked. She called the fire department, the health department. I mean, all these departments, everything she could think of to call. By the time we got to the school, by the time we got the phone call and we arrived at the school, this had gone from an extremely minor, seriously minor situation to there was a girl from the news, one of the news people was dragging a bucket of something out that we didn't even use. It wasn't even anything we used. So it went from a harmless but needed to be taken care of situation, and it got blown way out of proportion. That is the news. That's the job of a good news person. So a good news person takes something and makes it into a story. So if this news person, and y'all hang with me for 7 more minutes, I really want to talk about this. I really do. So if a good news person, if they had said, hey, Seema Sistani won the lottery and she had an opportunity to tour the world with her family, so she stepped down from Weight Watchers, that's not news. No one would care about that. If a newscaster said, hey, Seema Sistani's, she's having some health issues, and she just wanted to, kind of needed to slow down, and she's stepping back, she's stepping away from this. That's not good news, because again, nobody cares. It's news because the way the news presented it is, we're going to go into overtime like a good sports game. But the way the news, to be a good news story, it says, WW CEO Seema Sistani steps back after promoting GLP-1 medications and the purchase of, what's it even called? Whatever the thing is. I know the name of it. Sequence after, but it says, again, you have to watch the hands though. Weight Watchers CEO Seema Sistani steps back, abandons her job, whatever, because, after just promoting GLP-1 medications and blah, blah, blah. Sequence. Yeah, right, Scott. Okay, that's why it's news, okay? This is totally normal. It's extremely normal for companies to have people at a management level, to have people at a leadership level. Nobody said, hey, the girl that normally answers the phone at station number 3, she quit Friday too. Nobody, that's not news. That wasn't news. So while you're breathing and just taking it calm, this happens. This is a normal process in life. It doesn't mean anything bad happened. It doesn't, and I don't know. I have no idea what happened. No one called me. Seema did not call me and be like, Kelly, I know you can't pronounce my name, but here's what happened, okay? So I don't know what happened, but my gut tells me it's just a normal course of business. Things have not, like a purchasing sequence did not make all of their stock go, wow. There's a lot of things that go into numbers. There's a lot of things that go into your profit margins. There's a lot of things that go into, stockholders and shareholders being happy. It's so many levels that we can't even get into it today. But the one thing that I want to say is it's totally normal. It's a normal part of business. And for anybody who thinks this isn't a business, these are my parting words to you. Weight Watchers was started in 1963 by Jean Nidetch, whose name I also cannot say, but I think I just said it right, by Jean Nidetch in her home because she had attempted a weight loss program and wasn't happy because you couldn't talk to the other people, you couldn't get together, you couldn't share what was going on like we do. Even if you can't go to an in-person workshop now, you couldn't, they kind of discourage sharing. So she started Weight Watchers in 1963. As early as 1964, they started franchising Weight Watchers. So it went from, in a year, it went from Jean in her living room with some other disgruntled ladies who wanted to get together and talk about weight loss to being a franchised business in 1964. They published their first cookbook in 1966 and sold 1.5 million copies in 1966. If you don't think this is a for-profit business, I don't know what to tell you. 1966, I wasn't even born yet, and they sold so they'd already started franchising it and then sold 1.5 million cookbooks. Yes, they care about weight loss. Yes, they care about our health, but it's a for-profit business, okay? Then Jean resigned in 1973, and she just became like a, I don't remember exactly what her role was, but so she removed herself from Weight Watchers in 1973, and guess what happened? Weight Watchers didn't end. Jean Nidetch, the founder of Weight Watchers, the person who started all of this in her living room, she resigned from Weight Watchers in 1973. It did not close, okay? Next thing was it was sold to H.G. Heinz in 1978. Wow, for $7.2 million. $7.2 million. Then it sold again in 1999 for $735 million. $7.2 million to $735 million, and it became publicly held stock. Weight Watchers International, there are still some franchises, like I'm in a franchise location, but Weight Watchers International became a publicly held stock, publicly traded stock, November the 15th of 2001. So, for anyone who is worried about Weight Watchers closing down because a CEO who's only been there for 2 years left, Jean left in, what year was it? 1973, and it didn't close down. That's a normal course of business. For anyone who wants to complain about Weight Watchers making money, they are a for-profit business, whether you agree with me or not. I love Weight Watchers. I love going to my in-person workshops. I'm mad as poo over this Discover Content thing, but I understand it is a for-profit business. They have to make a profit, or they can't do any of this, none of this. And if you want to complain about them being a for-profit company, you're going to have to go back at least 23 years ago to when it became publicly traded, and probably go back more than 57 years ago when Jean Nidetch herself, when she franchised it and did her cookbook. Okay, that is my soapbox, I guess. That is my encouragement to you that it's not going anywhere. It's changing, but you know what? Look around. I'm not happy about the Discover Content. I'm not happy about not being able to get on the computer and look at it. I'm not happy with some of the changes that have been made, but look how far we've already come. So many things have changed. So it's all a sign of the times. Just like Debbie said earlier, AI, so many things are going to AI, and we just have to learn how to use it, how to embrace it, and decide how it affects us. Her resigning on Friday didn't affect anything that you're doing today, okay? So everybody just breathe, just hang in there. We'll figure it all out together. Don't forget to go back and watch last week's chat, or 2 weeks ago, which is here. You just touch right there if you're watching this on YouTube. And again, that's youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Go ahead and let that roll over. I promise you will enjoy it. Thank you all for letting me kind of vent about this whole business thing. It just really doesn't affect us. This event Friday really just doesn't affect us here. We're boots on the ground doing it every day. We're really unaffected by this. And who knows, it might be a good thing. It might move it in a completely different direction and actually be a good thing. Because remember, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about a setback might actually be a setup. So maybe this is actually a setup to something even better. But y'all have a great week. Thank you for letting me take last week off to celebrate with Bo. Again, so cute if you didn't have a chance to see the pictures. But y'all have a good one, and I will see you again next week. Good night.